And I also want to thank everyone that came out and expressed their opinions about the math sequence in San Francisco. Just a couple of thoughts which I think are absolutely important to get on the record. I'm very, very appreciative of the community's engagement around this topic. And I want to make sure that people understand that this has not been a recent engagement of the district. We have been working to engage our parents and our community for over 3 years around the transition to the Common Core state standards. We've held numerous forums. Our math team has gone and met at school sites. We've described what this process and what this curriculum and what this sequence will be. So I want to be very clear about some of the misstatements I heard here this evening. For the students that feel that they will not have a path to calculus, that is absolutely not true. You will be able to get to calculus. And I'm sorry, this is a classroom.
Please
we don't do that in classrooms. You're not going to do that this evening. Let's be respectful like adults. Now, the second thing that's very important to clear up is that everybody's engagement around this topic, I would hope that you would take the same diligence to understand, to study what the district has presented in terms of its sequence and why the sequence is a better sequence. And I say that proudly, a better sequence than anyone else's sequence of classes in the Bay Area. Just look at how our students have done in the first administration of the SBAC assessments. Now, the second thing that I'll say about that is people are talking about STAR tests and they're talking about algebra. Those are outdated, they're obsolete, they do not exist. So stop talking about them because they're no longer here. What we're talking about is Common Core mathematics, which is an amalgam at the 8th grade of Algebra 1, it's some geometry, it's statistics. There's lots of different math content in that math class. It's not the same old math class that people are still talking about. You need to be very clear about what you say in terms of what you're talking about. And that also leads me to be very clear. And I said this last board meeting. In 1779, Thomas Jefferson proposed a 2-track system of public education in the United States. And one track would be for the learned, and the second track would be for the laboring. And he also proposed that in this 2-track system, that the learned would have the opportunity to learn, and that you might be able to rake some of the rubbish, some geniuses from the rubbish from the second track. So I'm thrilled when I see the signs that say one size fits none. Because I'll tell you that previous to this math sequence, the one size that every African American, every Latino, every student with disability, and every poor child in this district got was a generalized math curriculum, and everybody else got a proposed honors curriculum. And I'll let you in on another secret. There is no honors curriculum. Sit down, sir. This is not your time. There is no honors curriculum. So look at the curriculum. It meant faster. That's all it meant. It didn't mean that there was a different, differentiated, gifted curriculum. It just meant that it was faster. So let's be really clear. If you're not about equity, and by the way, I'm reading the blogs, so I'm seeing what you're saying about African American families and African American kids. So if you don't believe in equity, and if you don't believe that all children belong in this district, then stop talking about it. Let's talk curriculum. We'll talk curriculum. But don't talk equity if you don't mean equity.
All right. Again, thank you everyone for coming.